Hello and welcome to Fulda, Germany. We are back for the third edition of the European Open Pool Championship. I'm delighted to be joined by Karl Boyes and Emily Frazer. A little bit lesser Karl Boyes, actually.
Stand down.
Yeah, love that. Last time I saw you in the World Championships, how was
fat?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but you know, you're looking good now, looking trim. Feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good.
You had a couple of beers last night though, so you got to make sure you don't take a step back.
Just two at the.
Are you sure it was two?
Yeah, the opening. What was it? Opening ceremony sort of thing.
That was not a ceremony.
It was pretty good though.
Don't ruin my overall flow.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to talk about Saudi Arabia first. It's been 2 months since the World Pool Championship. Emily, fantastic event, wasn't it? What's your thoughts on that? 2 months looking back now. Seems like a long time. Doesn't seem that long, but 2 months is a long time.
It seems like years ago since we did our last pool event. I just flew back from Saudi yesterday. It's obviously we're doing the snooker as well as part of our partnership, obviously. And it was phenomenal. I mean, I look back at the pictures of Fedor and even like introducing Fedor last night at our reception. What a world championship. And I was thinking about it afterwards and I was like, this is such a great event. This was brilliant. And I was like, oh crap, what are we going to do at the next event? Because everyone's going to be expecting all this glitz and glamour. Is it going to be like a step down? Because that world championship was insane. And then you think, no, it's the World Nineball Tour. You know, every tournament has its own uniqueness about it and has its own little thing and own spin. The World Championship should be the creme de la creme.
Yeah, I agree.
So it should be staged like that. Everyone said it was the best arena that they've ever played in. Do you know what? Then tick. But the team that we had on the ground was fantastic. You know, Ministry of Sport and the Saudi Billiard and Snooker Federation, also fantastic as well. And I can't wait to see how this event progresses, especially the junior event as well. You know, that was a brand new tournament that we did with the juniors at the World Championship. So there's so much more to come. Just to think, that was year one.
Yeah. I think what Em's saying there as well, Karl, is obviously the intention from Matchroom and that first edition of the World Pool Championship in Saudi was to set a bar and set a standard of this is what the World Nineball Tour is about, you know, with the World Championship. And would you agree that that was the message sent?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, not just the prize. I mean, you know, pool players are not used to playing for that sort of money, are they? You know, it was big dollars at stake, but the arena was just phenomenal. Every little detail, wasn't it? It was just a crazy week and obviously a fitting final as well in the end.
Oh my God, that final!
The final was absolutely incredible, wasn't it?
I remember just sitting there, and you remember there was a shot that Kachi made, and I remember just jumping out of a chair because I like watching it in the arena, but then I like watching it on TV, so I like seeing the difference. And I remember standing in the office thinking, like, I want to watch this, and I was like, oh my God! And then I sprinted, just wanted to get out to the arena because it was so tense and it was so dramatic. But don't you find that every final has kind of been like that?
It has been like that. World Masters final as well between Fedor.
I think we've been blessed, haven't we, with Hill finals, and not only Hill finals, close dramatic finals with lots of moments. I think I know the catchy shot that you're talking about, the two-railer.
Two-rail combo.
You lost it in comms, but I think, you know, Catchy was the coolest cat in the building, wasn't he?
But don't you think it's crazy. Like, I look at it and all of the finals and those shots like that, I just think it's credit to the players. They're getting better, they're getting stronger, they're so talented, these guys, and it's our job to promote the hell out of them and to get everyone to tune in and say, my word, look at this.
And talking of the World Championship, you know, the World Nineball Tour, as you've touched on, Em, all these events that we're promoting right now contribute to qualification for that event. So you set the standard of the World Championship, but the European Open, like we're here this week in Germany, you know, you do well here, that sets you up for qualifying in the World Champs to get in next year, doesn't it, Karl?
Yeah, definitely. You know, that's what it's about. You want certain stages of the season to be, you know, qualifying sort of criteria for certain events, team events, obviously World Championships, and you know, it's crazy to think sort of where the tour's at now because it hasn't really been that long, has it?
Yeah. And we're 8 months into the year, but it feels like we're going to get to a really, really busy, important point of the season. So many narratives at play now. Obviously, off the back of the World Pool Championship, we've got race to Moscone Cup, race to Reyes Cup, ranking points at stake, invitational events that we're putting on.
Qualifiers, ranking events.
Junior events. You know, and these events are back-to-back. We've got the European Open this week, 2 weeks later in the US Open. Before you know it, there's tons of ranking events in between as well. Before you know it, a year will be over and it's the Moscone Cup again.
Well, it's a fully world tour, and this is what we wanted. This is what we, you know, told ourselves that we would achieve. And we're only, what, in year 2 with a full tour. And look at how much we've achieved since. And then you think about where we're going to be in at the 5-year mark. So another 3 years, where's this going to be? I mean, I couldn't sit here and tell you where it's going to be because, you know, we all know where I want it to be. But
I think all you've got to do as well is look backwards 5 years from where we were in 2019. I think that's a good way of looking at it as well, and look at where we are now. Because in 2019, we just acquired the US Open. You know, that was the only Open event that we'd taken on. You know, when you think about it, it's come on a long way.
Philippine in the final.
Yeah, so we're coming a long way, but enough of talking about what's coming. We're at the European Open, day one in the bag.
I was just looking to see how Catchy's match finished there, but he's obviously just finished and won the match in the end.
So no huge upsets to talk about at the moment. We had Jason Shaw on one of the tables just there, had a big comeback. That would have been a big story if he'd lost that match, Carl.
Yeah, he was 8-3 down, and he was playing really bad, but then 20 minutes later it was hill, and he'd won. He's like, but he can do that, Jason. You know, he's a fast player.
Yeah. Anything stood out for you today from what you've seen, Carl, for day one?
I think every match I've done on TV table has been pretty poor, but as in the standard.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Why?
Just like they were breaking bad, just missing balls. But these are the tables from UK Open.
Yeah.
They are just under 4 inches, and we did see a lot of the players struggle with the pockets. Obviously, that's the event that Capito won, but listen, it's day one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And,
one thing I will say personally, I don't know if you guys know, I know Emily made the executive decision a little while ago before Saudi to introduce the shot clock from the start of the tournament. So we've had that today. I feel like the play, you might not agree that the standard's been that good, but the flow of it has been so much better than previous Open events with no shot clock. Wouldn't you agree, Carl?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, when there's no shot clock, pool players, you can just stand there with your queuing and you can't think of the right shot to play, and before you know it, 2 minutes has gone by. So it does waste so much time. And I think if you sat at home watching it, you know, you'd be thinking what's going on here.
Switching the TV on.
Yeah, so the shot clock just means it just keeps, and the players want it, do you know what I mean? It's not like it's come from Emily and the players hate it. Players want the shot clock,
of course.
You know? Top players are used to playing with it, and obviously I think as well using the main arena from day one.
Yeah, Emily, thoughts on that? And I think that, I personally think that's looked great with the shot clock as well. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I kind of forgot. That sounds awful.
You've got a lot on your plate. It's not that you forgot.
But look, we always have that main arena like ready for the TV stage in the last 16. It's got the trophy in it, but we've just, you know, trying something new with the European Open this year. Just seeing, you know, what changes we can make and stuff like that. Because we're always looking to try and improve, trying to, you know, change things up if it's not working. So it's great to have the players in that arena, and it actually looks a lot busier in the crowd and things like that when you use that. So yeah, I think that's a nice big tick from that side of things. But like we said, we're going into the US Open soon, and it's just going to be absolutely
not far away,
wild.
is it?
No.
Talking of the US Open, and I touched on earlier, race to the Moscone Cup and Reyes Cup. It's effectively a formality at the end of this event that Catchy will qualify for the Moscone Cup for Team Europe because he can't be caught. And Fedor, obviously, with his massive win at the World Championship, will be the first name for Team USA as well. A little bit more on the line with the Reyes Cup. Johan Chua currently the front runner for Team Asia to get that second spot. And then we've got Filler, Victor Zielinski, David Al-Kaidi, a few guys kind of in contention for Team Europe. So I think that'll be really exciting to watch. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got Catchy as the first one to kind of qualify for the Moscone, to then have another player qualify for Reyes on the Europe side. Like that's cool, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not having the two exact same teams for Europe.
Would you like to see some new faces in the invitationals, Carl?
Yeah, I mean, listen, obviously that's the beauty of what we're doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, everyone's got a fair chance of qualifying for the teams. Because where years ago it's a bit of like if your face fits, you get handpicked. So that's what the players want. Obviously, Johan Chua sits at the top for Reyes Cup. So after this, the next player for the Reyes Cup's announced.
Yep.
And I think he's in unless
he needs Copigny. Noki or Copigny need Johan Chua to not finish in the money, and they have to win the event.
Oh wow!
So he's about 20,000 clear of those two guys.
Just come up with that stat. I
It's our
barely
job
even
to know.
What time it is right now.
It's our job to know.
Off these stats. It's brilliant.
But I mean, it'd be great to get one of those names. Whoever, you know, Nokioi just won in Helsinki literally 24 hours ago. He's been sent to the loser side already, but you know we've seen people come from loser sides and have great events. So he'd be, exactly. At the World Champs, Oi would be a great name. Obviously, a Filipino for the Reyes Cup would be amazing as well.
Yeah,
so.
I think Chua will do it. I think for him not to qualify here with where he's at in the table would be mighty unlucky.
And don't have to go into too much detail, but
I'm not telling you who the captains are.
that's
Who's
fine.
the captains?
I'll ask you about that. I was asking preparation for the Reyes Cup. We're getting a little bit closer,
Yeah.
but I can feel the chatter online, people around the venues. There's more excitement as people are aware. October's coming. The Reyes Cup's not far away.
We're just being consistent because everyone was asking about the Reyes Cup and it was like everyone was excited about it, and then bosh, it comes out, Reyes Cup's happening. Look, just be patient, everyone. We're working on having... I'm going to say one thing. The Reyes Cup will have more fans than the Moscone Cup.
Really?
Wow.
And that is what I am working towards.
Yeah, okay.
They will have more fans, and it's going to be a bit of a different setup than you're used to for the Moscone.
Interesting.
Is it going to be
I'm not
held in
going
a
into
cockfighting arena? Like they see that
The money match,
game. There's a
yeah.
money game a week ago. They put a table in the cockfighting
October
arena.
for the World Nineball Tour is amazing for that Asian swing. Hanoi Open straight into
Hanoi.
Reyes. I mean, we know how popular the sport is in Asia off the back of Hanoi when we went there in October last year. But, I mean, that is amazing for us to go for that back-to-back huge
And
events.
Perry Open as well, right?
And the Perry
before.
Open in Da Nang this year.
Yeah, and the team, obviously the Perry team did a great job with that ranking event last year. It really got the players into the flow, and they were so, welcoming for the players, and it was brilliant. And obviously, our team at Via Content on the ground for Hanoi are doing everything, obviously working towards the Hanoi Open. I mean, I would love for the Hanoi Open finishes and a player qualifies for the Reyes Cup, but I mean it's 2 days after, so it's a little bit much.
Give the media guys a nightmare, a heart attack just talking about that.
But how tense would that be?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe one year, maybe one year.
One day.
So at the European Open, we've had half the field play. David Al-Khadi, defending champion. He starts his campaign tomorrow. How do you fancy his chances this week? He's obviously been through a lot of stuff. He's been quite public talking about the loss of his mum, obviously, as well, which happened a couple of months ago. So extra motivation for him there to perform this week.
Yeah.
Do you fancy his chances?
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? It's so hard to pick, I think.
He upset the odds last year. No one would have picked David at the start of the week. And then he just forced his way into that Moscone Cup conversation by snapping off the European.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not easy to win any of these tournaments. I don't think you'd ever put David in that, let's say, top 5 picks if he was going to pick 5 players, but you won't be shocked to see him near the end, I suppose, come the end of the week.
And Emily, I won't ask you to pick a player because I know that you hate doing that, but obviously another amazing week of action. You must be excited as we build towards another final, because it's been 2 months since the World Pool Championship, to get back into the swing of things,
Yeah, like I said, I feel like I've kind of missed the pool. I've been, working on a bit of the snooker, and the pool's the pool's my baby.
Yeah.
So I've missed it, and just being in the arena with the players here and everyone's just makes me so happy. And also some of the junior players who normally sign up for the junior event. A lot of them have decided to participate in the main event this year, and regardless of their age and being able to play in the junior event, they were like, no, we want to play in the main event, and I love that.
Yeah, Felix Vogel was one, right? He won Saudi Junior Championship.
Championship.
Here playing at the European Open in the main event. It's great, isn't it?
It is brilliant, and the thing that I look forward to is seeing what new guns come through for that last 16, the last 32 kind of vibe, and I like seeing some new players come through the ranks, or players that are consistently sort of banging on that door that, get that sort of over the line, and it's nice to see that. So I'm excited to see who makes the last 16.
Definitely. Carl, you excited for a great week?
Yeah, I am, yeah. Obviously these open events, they often spring up some sort of surprise, don't they? And obviously these tables are playing tough, so I think it's going to be a good week.
It will separate the men from the boys, or the wheat from the chaff, as they say in these day and age. Men from the boys is a bit of a dated saying, but do not worry.
There's girls in this event.
Girls as well, of course, yeah. The action is back on your screens from 10 a.m. tomorrow. Tune into Matchroom Pool and Matchroom Multisports YouTube for all the action. We'll see you then.